Hey guys, this is Cyber Saloon. So today we're going to be going over ReZero episode 9. So we pick up where we left off last time where Kinda and Subaru are talking about his ability to return from death. And of course, the big thing is that it has no consequences for them to talk about this. It's not going to kill Kinda for knowing about it, and it's not going to kill Subaru for talking about it. So it is confirmed by Kinda that this is one of Satella's powers, which shouldn't come as a surprise to the audience. But it is also confirmed because Subaru asked the question, like, does this ability have, like, any limits? Like, is there only so many times you can die before you permanently die, like, on a certain, like, amount of times you use it? And according to Nginda, it does not. So that's a pretty broken power ability, but regardless, and Nginda also kind of mentions that the only reason Subaru is given this power is because Satella has something kind of planned for Subaru. Like, Subaru returning to, like, death, like it's not meant for him to go save a bunch of people. It's mainly just so he can accomplish certain goals. So, like, him saving Ram, or anyone else, really, like, it's not really meant for that, because the only person that Satella kind of cares about, and the only one that really matters, is Subaru. So, like, if, like, she doesn't care, say, like in his new, for lack of a better term, save point, they'll, like, maybe Ram or someone along those lines have died or anything like that. She doesn't really care. Like, so Subaru for sure has to be careful about how he uses it to make sure that he tries to save everyone before he kind of gets to a new checkpoint. Because if he gets to a new checkpoint, like, there's nothing he can really do to go back and kind of redo that again. So Subaru's kind of main goal right now is to defeat, like, the Great Rabbit. So the Witch of Gluttony made 3, like, main beasts. One that we've already seen is the Great Well, which they killed in season 1 with their great effort. The second one that we see now is the Great Rabbit, which it's not so much large in scale as it is in it's like an infinitely like multiplying kind of, like, creature. It's like a rabbit that can, like, that just devours everything in sight, and that can, like, multiply itself, like, basically infinitely. And Ashinda kind of makes a comment like, the Great Whale was the most powerful of the beasts, but the Great Rabbit is so hard to kill just because how many of them there are, and how many times it can just multiply. So Kinda kind of sets up, like, a meeting between Subaru and the witch that made them. So, and she has, like, a little, like, a caveat, like, no matter what you do, like, don't touch them. And Subaru's like, okay, like, I'm not gonna do it. And then we start off with the first witch, Typhon, and then, which is she's Pride, and all of Subaru's in his galaxy brain play, he decides it was a good idea to touch her hand when she asked him to, basically. And we see him, he crumbles into pieces, like, he's just screaming. She, like, like, part of his arm just comes off and shatters into pieces, like, and we see, like, that witch is kind of a bitch, like, for sure, like, she's really annoying. But so, and then after she leaves, Minerva comes, which is the Witch of Wrath. And then Minerva is goofy as shit. So Minerva just comes out of nowhere and just starts spouting off a bunch of just gibberish, and, like, puts Subaru back together. And I'll do, like, Minerva. Minerva is pretty cool. And then after Minerva, we finally see the Witch of Gluttony, which is the one that Subaru wants to talk to. Anyway, which is Daphne. So Daphne, I don't understand these weird designs, but, like, 2 of these witches are just straight lollies. I don't understand, like, that's like a lolly mech. But anyways, so, like, Subaru and Daphne start to talk, and she starts to bring up why she made the Great Beast to even begin with. Is because she didn't want people to starve. Gotta be honest here, this logic made no sense to me. I just thought it was really dumb. I'm like, I don't understand the point of making, like, 3, like, exceptionally powerful, like, beasts, like, powerful in their own way. The Great Whale is this, like, colossal monster that can devour people's memories and just can wipe out entire villages and cities. And then you have the Great Rabbit, which is, like, this infinitely multiplying horde of like hungry evil rabbits, basically from Monty Python. And we don't know about the Great Serpent. We haven't seen that one yet. I'm curious to see if we see that one this season. But she made them so people didn't go hungry. Not gonna lie, the logic's kind of broken on this one. Like, I don't understand the point of making, like, your average person, are like, most people aren't even gonna be able to even cause any damage. Like, we see the extent that he even had to go through to destroy like the great white whale, and like I. So, anyways, Daphne's logic is really just questionable on that one. I thought it was kind of a stupid, kind of like, oh, this is why I made this. Like, if you actually like think about it, you're just like, I don't understand how this was a good idea, like, to make these. And it's just like, she goes in like, oh, you have to eat to survive. But it's like, okay, like, you also made these three just exceptionally powerful, like, beasts that just mainly cause like devastation to people so much than it does help them. But she tells Subaru basically that the only way that you can destroy them is you have to destroy them all at the same time. She also brings up they're mainly attracted to places of magic where there's high mana. So I mean that makes sense, I guess, why they attack Sanctuary. Um, on top of the fact it's like a kind of a magical place, you also have Roswall, Amelia, Puck, and a bunch of other people that are there. They're probably pretty exceptional in their magic use. So after they talk, Subaru kind of gets waken up by something happening on the outside world. So him and Akinda kind of have to farewell to one another, and Subaru has to wake up from this kind of this meeting with Akinda. So after he wakes up, he finds that Amelia's not there, which is weird to him because in all of his previous times, after he's woken up, Amelia's always there. So he's kind of fearful something's happened. And when he goes outside, he sees Satella has basically been, I don't want to say summoned, but Satella has appeared, and she is kind of wrecking shit throughout the village. So I'm gonna go into what I think happened on this, because I very much believe that Amelia is a vessel for Satella. Like, I think that Amelia has a part of Satella's soul inside her, or is a complete vessel for her to begin with, and kind of takes over at times. For anyone who's seen Frozen Bond, like, if you go back and watch like some of that, when Amelia loses control of her power, she does have some dark magic. Um, so, anyways, the reason I think what I think happened here is Amelia lost control. Like, she was going through her trial, and it may have triggered something, and Satella completely took over. That is very much what I think happened, because we see that Satella, the village is just covered in darkness, and Satella comes up to Subaru and is just constantly saying, "I love you, I love you, I love you," like multiple times, like in a very obsessive manner. So what I think happened here was Amelia has lost control, and that um, Satella has completely taken over her form. And then we see that Garfield comes and saves Subaru and is trying to get him out of here. And then you see kind of Subaru still kind of bedazzled how she even got here to begin with. And at the very end of the credits, we see that Roswall holding that book, the one that's kind of similar to the one Beatrice has, saying, "I'll walk through hell no matter where you go." And you see he says, "Natsuki Subaru." So that I thought was very interesting. I don't really have any kind of theories on what that could be. I still don't. Roswell's intentions are still pretty mysterious to me, so I'm not entirely sure. Um, we know he wants to kill the dragon, but that's about it. Like, I'm not really sure like what his play is here, or what his intentions truly are. But overall, I thought the episode was really good. I thought it was a really good setup for next week's episode. I am, I hope that they kind of delve into and don't kind of put off the Satella thing. I hope that like it's not something that just happens and Subaru just dies and wakes up and like we don't find out for another 4 or 5 episodes what this was. I don't see what else it could be. It has to be Amelia. Like, um, on top of just completely bearing a resemblance to her, based on everything we've seen of her, I very much think this, like, it's Satella is in some way or form inside her body, like a part of her soul resides in her, because her power definitely is resides in Subaru. I mean, not Subaru, resides in, well, it does reside in Subaru, but it resides in Amelia as well. So, guys, that's kind of all I have on this episode. I'm pretty excited to see next week's episode. Let me guys know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.